Well, hello friends. This is Tommy Oakes and this is the Story Break. I'd like to tell you a story about a man. I'll give him a name that's not his real name. I'll call him Fred. I'm pretty sure that wasn't his name. And if your name's Fred, no reflection. But this is a story about Fred. One time Fred, who lived in Southern California, was driving down the freeway, and he said he got a sense that the car beside him was getting a little close, so he turned to the left to look. And when he turned to the left, he said, I got dizzy. I started feeling nauseated. My heart started just doing crazy things. And he said it was all I could do to not pass out. And he said I gradually pulled over to the side, found an exit. And he said as soon as I could, I got to a telephone and called my doctor. Well, he said I went to my doctor's office and they gave me all kinds of tests. They hooked me up to a treadmill. They did a stress test. They did EKGs, whatever it is you do when somebody's heart may be going wonky. But he said when it was all done, they said, well, Fred, nothing seems to be wrong with your heart. Well, we'll hook you up to this monitor for about a month, and if anything happens, we'll have a record of it, and we'll be alerted, and we can get to you. So Fred said the month went by and nothing happened. Well, after he was unhooked, he said a few days later he was walking downtown, and something on the ground caught his eye, and he looked down to see what it was, and he said all that dizziness came back again, and that feeling of nausea and that wonkiness in my heart. And he said, I didn't know what to do. So he said, I sat down, and he said, eventually I kind of recovered and I got home. He said, the next day, I went to see another doctor. And he said, I told the doctor what had happened, and he sat there for a moment, and he said, Fred, what size shirt do you wear? And Fred, I said, I think a 15 and a half. And he said, my friend said, that's it, Fred. So he took out a tape measure and took it around my neck, and he said, if anything, you're at least a 16 or a 17. He said, what you need to do is go get yourself a shirt that has more room in the collar. Because what you have done is when you button up your shirt and you turn this way or that, it's like giving yourself a judo chop to the neck. There's a nerve that runs down your neck, and said that gives a signal to your heart that things are wrong. So Fred said, after I spent all that money at the doctor's office, I went and spent only a portion of it at the shirt shop, and I'm better. And that's the end of that. What's your shirt size, by the way? Well, friends, this is Tommy Oakes. Thanks for coming to the Story Break. See you next time.